building, but their mission is to protect the federal building downtown and the federal building in Westwood. But again, it's the intimidation factor, it's the anger that people feel that then gets directed to the guards. And how ironic has it been, because the guards, the National Guard, has been in the fire area.
How's it? Hang loose. Welcome to Mongoose Max Y, the channel. Aloha everyone. It is Monday, June 9th. Yay. And LA's burning and they're rioting. LA! Free and liberate LA. We need more law and order. No, well, it's not exactly, well, just a second, we'll get to this. Once again, let's get, let's give us a little love. Okay, if that's gonna blink, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to hide that a little bit. Okay, so Los Angeles tipped, and now they're kind of it's not martial law. So let's break this. LA's kind of a mess right now. They're burning cars and this and that. So, all right. So the ICE raids. Going into like places of employment and this and that, and just picking people out. They're just very aggressive ICE raids were protested against, and they protested to the ICE raid office building, the federal building. And since this is Trump's deportation stuff, and he can't have anything hinder his numbers of deportating those
I can't say
immigrant invasion, these are his words, then he sends down the National Guard to protect the federal buildings, right? So now the National Guard is deployed to California. Well, it's California's National Guard, but they're activated via Donald Trump. That's federalized. Now, the National Guard is usually just deployed by the governor. It's all deportation. What the hell? Okay. Just a second. The National Guard is deployed when the governor says so. Okay, and when the governor says so, then it's like necessary. Like they had the California wildfires and this and that. And is this working? Okay, just a second. Devil, I can't what? Leave? Thank you for your patience. That was on the whole time. So the governor, if needed, like the wildfires, deploys National Guard to assist for protection of the citizens.
Jacket.
Never does the federal order that states National Guard to federalize under federal command, except for extreme things. Last time it was 1962 for the race riots. You know, when there are race riots, and it was like in the 50s, late 50s to 62. Kennedy was like all getting involved in it. 62. So why they could have handled it with, so says the governor of California, they could have handled it with the LAPD, but Trump said, no, we want law and order, we want to liberate, this is like quoting his words, liberate Los Angeles from the migrant invasion and to have law and order. So he brings law and order with the National Guard being federalized. So now the National Guard is facing the protesters, and the National Guard can't tell the LAPD what to do and vice versa, but there's LAPD which could have done the job, but the National Guard is now faced with the protesters, and it's starting to get like, and then they're ordering up those robot cars and setting them on fire and then throwing e-bikes into the, and now it's just a little bit more chaos, and then it's been considered an illegal assembly instead of a peaceable assembly with protesting. Now it's illegal because it's violent, because it's dangerous. So now all the law officers can take arrest, and there's, I think people have been arrested and such already.
What are you doing here?
Things are burning, and they closed down the freeway, and then they opposed illegal. The whole zone, whole state now is illegal protesting, so it's kind of imposed a curfew. The big thing is, it wasn't ordered by the governor of California, it's ordered by Trump. So all the protesters, oh gosh, this is just like, God, the chaos. What the heck is going on? Having our own little, see, there's the riot stuff going. It's not a riot though. Jeez. So anyways, yeah, now there's going to be a lawsuit from the governor of California to the White House, or because Donald Trump doesn't like the governor of California, Gary Newsom. They've been battling it out, the wildfire stuff. Law and order, says Trump. That this is like disorder, so liberate from the migrant invasion. So there's a big fire and ice thing. See, even the mayor of California is like, hey, you brought in the National Guard when it wasn't necessary, and now you inflamed all these people. And yeah, they're illegal immigrants, but they entered the country illegally and stayed, or they have their visa and overstayed the visa, so their status is not legal. That's not a crime. It's an immigration status or citizenship status thing. It's not a quote crime. Legally, it's not a crime, but they keep calling them illegals because they entered illegally. They didn't go through the paperwork. So, the bells. So there's a whole huge thing, and then you see these things in there, and it's all like F blur ice. They tried to blur it later on. There's like graffitiing everywhere. I forgot about that. And this is like the third, fourth day. They're hoping it doesn't go wild. See, but there's kind of
looking for me.
See, but the Insurrection Act is a big deal.
Stay with me.
And if Trump activates the Insurrection Act, then he can really send troops, and the Marines are waiting to back up the National Guard.
Nancy.
And there's people down there, they're not even, a few of them are throwing rocks, there's all that, but Trump's doing this on some other thing that used to be, it's a sort of attached to the Insurrection Act. Here's the Insurrection Act, and there's this other little memo that the president has power to send in troops. But he's just operating on the power to send in troops, not the Insurrection Act yet. So that hasn't been done ever. That's never been, it's like, what are you doing? He's just doing it. And when that happens, you have the National Guard down there and stuff like that. Marines, they know this.
Simple.
People know, they know what's going on. It's not like they're just watching it happen on the street. They're making it happen. So a lot of the immigrants there, this is Los Angeles. So they're waving Mexican flags. There's a lot of Mexican flags going on. A lot of that. Mexico! Pancho Villa! And then there's a few other flags because when LA riots and this and that, you've seen it in 1992 in the past. That was bad. This is but it can get really bad. There's gangs. There's gangs in LA, and then there's people that are just violent. There's some nutsy people. There's so many people. That's why, and there's gonna be those criminal elements. So there's the law-abiding protesters. Okay, you must disperse. The law-abiding citizens go home. They don't want no trouble. Then there's kind of like the hardened protesters that put your little what do you call those handcuffs? Those zip tie handcuffs, and they're doing it protest. And then there's the criminal element, the ones that are criminals. They're waiting to smash the windows and loot. There's a criminal element in gangs. Hey, you get a bunch of soldiers lined up, and you're gonna have gangs going by and taking pot shots, and the soldiers are armed. Oh God! And then there's the opportunist stuff. So you got PLO type, Palestinian flags mixed in with a sea of Mexican. So it just looks nuts. And they order up those Wago, those cars, and they set them on fire. That's what the car things are. They're ordered up robot cars.
This is my place.
And they got them.
Understand.
They brought them there and they put them on fire. And so I don't know. It's pretty dang nuts. But that little act where the Trump can send people send troopers out there, National Guard, it's indefinite. It's not specifically Los Angeles specifically now. It's like in general. So wherever in the USA that deportation is being hindered, Trump can send in the troops. And if he can override the governor of California, which he has a big beef on right now, because this is so it's like the test zone. LA's big, has tons and tons of immigrant invasion, tons of that. So he can deport a million people. If he can get through that, then he can do this in any city in the USA, and there's nothing stopping. So that's the importance of LA thing, and we'll see if Governor Newsom's lawsuit has any pull. Anyways, okay, let's go. This probably takes too long. I got this weird thing today. Okay, Hawaii's got news too. See? Hawaii's got news, and it's Trump deploys National Guard, and Carlos got the French Open. Oh gosh! Oh my gosh!
Maybe.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Okay, and for some reason this thing leaks in the Capitol building in here, and so the riddled state water leaks near completion. So I think we got the leaks done. We can have our little water pool, and my feet would be wet. Oh gosh! And this is Carlos, who's making an epic comeback. Yeah, that's the epic comeback photo, I guess. It's weird. And football's on its way. Yay. Oh, a little back in the day. Oh, Hawaii's this in the the big beautiful bill is a mess. This is like, okay, I hope they don't make that a distraction for that bill needs to be squashed. Remember 1978 when you want to relax, you just go out there and go, hey, nice car. Hey,
on the table.
This guy, look at the 70s on here. And like, hey, man, I polished it up, man. I used Kusa wax.
Incorrect.
This is a restyled 79 Cadillac Eldorado. Get some admiring looks. First Hawaiian auto show. The bankers are like, hey, man, let's bring in some banking. Movie cartoon.
Due to Trump's weather service cuts, all future forecasts will be based on my joint pain.
It hurts. Get well, Michael. He's healing up. And what should we do? Norms of justice and safety and democracy better purchase in chain. We're not going to portion. I guess this one. Oh my gosh.
Norms of justice, fairness, safeguard democracy.
Over time, thoughtful and industrious people discover what works. Through trial and error and reflection, they establish best practices that keep us safe, protect sensitive information, and support a just, effective political system. Today, some in the administration and Congress are breaking long-established norms, undermining the courts, mishandling top-secret information, politicizing the Department of Justice, turning a blind eternal eye missing to violations, and eroding trust in public communication. These actions disregard hard-earned wisdom meant to safeguard democracy and public trust. It's essential to recognize and remember these broken norms, not out of assuredly, not out of nostalgia, but because they exist for a good reason. When the opportunity arises, we must restore the practices that promote justice, fairness, efficiency, and principled governance. Norms may be invisible when they're working well, but their absence reveals how vital they are to our shared future. When best practices break down, democracy suffers. Don't let the worst become the norm. Carl Sabantino Kapahulu. Oh, gee, thank you, Carl, for sending in your letter there. Oh gosh. Yeah, best practices. Yeah, you worded it quite well there, and have a lot of these the kind of like nice ideals. Kind of. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. You know, I really do agree with that. The thing I'd point out though that I really think is significant about that is, don't let them become the norm. Okay, democracy suffers. Oh, look at democracy suffering right here. You know, I mean, this build-up and these established things get eroded. This structure that we have America and democracy working on, and now it's just being overrode, and then people are and it's gone. You know, this is to say, oh, that's normal. Oh, that's, yeah. No, this isn't not normal. When the president is overriding stuff and embattling governors and states' powers. It's like state powers, federal powers. And this is a conflict here. That's a real significance about the LA unrest right now. It's not a riot, it's not an insurrection.
Have we met?
It's pretty funny. Trump's like, I'll send in the troops and call in the insurrection ass. Well, when do you consider it an insurrection, President Trump? He's like, well, we'll see. We're keeping an eye. So whenever he thinks it's an insurrection, which is kind of oddly sardonic, ironic, or whatever, because January 6th, insurrection. Apparently, Trump's pretty good at insurrections. He knows what an insurrection is. Yeah. Well, let's hope that.
Let me show you.
Let's hope that LA pulls it together, and this thing doesn't repeat and become the norm other places. So, aloha. It's Mongoose Monday. Yeah, that makes it all better. Mongoose Monday. Aloha, everyone. Have a great day. Aloha now.
It's the day.